Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki Spiritual Healer. And today I wanted to talk to you about the Epstein files and Prince Andrew. And in this case, he has been arrested for his misconduct. In the Epstein files, he was seen leaning over a young lady laying on the floor. We don't know if that young lady was incapacitated, if she was sick, if they had drugged her, if, she was unalive. But he was leaning over her, and these are the types of, scandals that they want to keep under wraps. They do not want people to know what they're engaged in. And you can tell, his ride in the police car, in the back of the police car, he is embarrassed. And these people, these types of narcissists, these are covert narcissists. They don't like to be exposed. They don't like to answer questions, when they're caught. He's wishing that, all of this could go away so that he could maintain his behavior and his privilege. It's not only white privilege in this case, it's royal privilege, where they have been sweeping things under the rug. And, I want to applaud Prince Charles for letting him bite the bullet, letting his brother, and this is how we need to react with those people who carry the same blood and the same titles that we do when they're acting out of character. You're going to have to answer for what you have done. Okay? You're going to be stripped of your title. I do not want to be associated with you. Nobody wants to be associated with you because you have some distasteful habits that has been exposed. Okay. So you're unable, again, Prince Andrew is unable to go back to his entity. Everyone has abandoned him, and this is what the entity will do for you. Everyone has abandoned him, and it's going to send him into a downward spiral. You may, you may find these types of people when they have enjoyed privilege and they no longer have access to it, or the people that can protect them anymore. These people in many cases will unalive themselves because they cannot stand that type of pressure of being embarrassed, of falling from grace, and the entity abandoning them. Okay, they've never had to endure this type of pressure. There has always been someone there to pick up the pieces and hide the problems and do the dirty work. Okay, when you no longer have that, and you have been abandoned by the entity, the narcissist in many times will, fall out of sight from public. They will start doing, drugs, alcohol, in order to cope with not having this entity attached to them. We've seen this in many times with entertainers. There are entertainers that we can look at that have fallen from grace, that their entity has attacked their mind. They've gone into mental institutions. But in this case with Prince Andrew, then we have to understand that, it has been going on for a very long time. He has been unable to defend himself and to defend the entity, in public view. He has been unable to hold that mask, during interviews, because in many cases, your inability to tell the truth is going to show that you're guilty. You know, there is a mechanism in your body that God has put in your body where you have to tell the truth. Your body is going to bear witness against you. Your behavior is going to bear witness against you, you know, because you're trying to cover up your behavior and other people's behavior that have been, you know, of the elite status. And so now that your body and your behavior has bear witness against you to the truth, and you know, your mask slipped on TV miserably, horribly. Okay, your mask slipped on TV, you know, when you were thrown out of the Windsor Castle estate. Okay, you still have somewhere to go. So we can be, you know, thankful for that. But in many cases, these types of narcissists, these elite narcissists, rather than tell the truth, they would rather be unalive. You know, the oath that they have taken, the sacrifices that they have made, in many cases, rather than to expose the truth, expose the people who were involved, expose themselves, in order to, you know, have to pay for the crimes that they have committed in society, the atrocities upon people's lives whom they have trampled as if they were nothing. This is how they behave, and this is why they would rather choose unaliving than be exposed, than tell these people, than let their mask be slipped, you know, again and again, and have to expose themselves to jail time. They don't want that. And then we have, you know, the narcissist, I forgot her name, that was involved with this, the Gislanger, I forgot her name. Let me look her up. Hold on, because we want to make sure that we're calling out these narcissists, you know, that's involved with this case. You know, that our president is also involved with this case, and they do not want, you know, this type of, you know, behavior of the leadership that they chose to come out. So we are having, you know, the I think her name is Maxine Gisling, something like that. So you guys let me know in the comments, because I couldn't pull it up fast enough for you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that this lady is involved with these women being abducted from places that, in many cases, they have been drugged. They have been taken against their will. And we have this female that's in jail, you know, in prison doing time, and she's trying to get out. And these types of narcissists will let this pedophile, will let this person out of jail to hide the behavior, the conduct, and their character from the public's eye. So this is why you have these types of narcissists in high places. So they can make deals with, you know, other entities. They can make deals with the devil so that they're never exposed. And I just want you to take away from this that our behavior cannot mimic this. It cannot mock this. Our behavior, when we are in our homes, when we're in our businesses, we cannot act like men of absolute power in this way, towards our own people, towards the women, towards the men. We cannot act like the ancients of the old. We have to make sure that we have this attitude right now, that, you know, we're going to have to call out some of our people for their behavior. We're going to have to hold some of our people accountable. They think that these nasty jokes that they have been telling, you know, we don't have comedians that can stand on, you know, business and tell jokes about kids, and it's funny and it's clean and we can relate to it. We want to have these comedians that are trying to say their jokes or their behavior of sacrificing children, you know, the way that their entity has taught them in this case, is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be making money. But, you know, from my standpoint, then to me, the funny comedians was Robin Harris. The funny comedians was Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. And they had some pretty, you know, dirty stuff in there. But it was never, you know, like some of the things that's coming out of our people who want to sacrifice our own people, children, little girls. It's not funny. It's not funny. And the fall from grace for these types of people, these types of entertainers, these types of royalty, it will be a long distance, a heavy weight upon their back, up on them. It is a long distance to the ground. So I hope that you have received this message on how to conduct yourselves, on what we are going to remove from our social media platforms, from what we consume. You know, some of these things are not funny. Some of these things are, you know, pure nasty, and it falls under sacrificing another person for the elite status, for the benefit, to stay relevant. And we want to make sure that we're exposing those people. So thank you guys for your support. I hope you guys are enjoying this channel, and we're doing some rearranging, and I'm getting some things in order for you guys so that you can reach out to me and I can make it easier for you to get in touch with me. And, you know, we just making sure that it's easier overall for you to contact me and reach out to me and make sure that you're getting the help that you need. So I thank you, all of you, for your support. I really appreciate you. Please continue to reach out to me with your questions. Book your one-on-one consultations. Book your video chat sessions. You can also book your consultations so that I can acclimate a gift to your